Hi guys, so today I want to do a quick video on my palette collection. So these are palettes that are primarily, if not all of them, are eyeshadow palettes. And I do have a few that my sisters are borrowing right now, so I will mention them. I don't have them in person, but I do have fantastic knowledge of my opinion on them. So let's go ahead and get started into my eyeshadow palette collection. So the first one, this is in no particular order that I want to show you, is my Lorac Mega Pro palette. When I saw the post on Instagram that this was coming out, I was freaking out. This is what this one looks like. It was super limited edition, and obviously it has a ton of shadows. The best thing about Lorac, in my opinion, about their palettes is that they always have a plethora of matte shadows. So these two top rows right here are matte, and the two bottom ones are all shimmer. Surprisingly, as excited as I was about this palette, I hardly ever use it. Literally ever. There's not really a good reason. I just don't pull this one out like hardly ever. So if I were to decide which palettes I were going to, maybe give to my sisters or give to a friend or something, this would definitely be one of them because, like I said, I just never use it, which is really sad, seeing as how excited I was to buy it originally. Another palette that I was like literally pinning on Pinterest constantly, like, I need this palette. This is the Urban Decay Vice 2 palette. This was when I was like really hardcore getting into makeup and I was like, I basically have to have everything. So I picked this up, and once again, I literally never use this palette. Like, I know this probably can come across like, wow bitch, like you have nice makeup, expensive makeup, and you're just like, yeah, I just don't use it. But I guess you just get used to using the same stuff. I know what I like, and this just isn't something that I pull for. Oh, this is what the shadows look like here. It also does come with this double-ended brush, which I never end up using any of these brushes because they're so hard to store. It has like a crazy range of shadows, and perhaps that's why I don't pick this one up that much. But there's not that many shadows that go together to create a complete eye look. It's possible, but it's not easy to come up with an eye look just with this palette, and I think that really annoys me. And there's really not that many shadows that I'm drawn to. Like, I think at this point in my obsession with makeup, I know what I like, and I'm willing to try like new things, but I know I love warm shadows. Once in a while, I want something bright, you know what I mean, things like that, but again, this is just something that I don't pull for at all. One of my absolute first palettes, this like really makes me smile because if you watch like one of my very first makeup videos on YouTube, which I don't suggest you doing, you can see this palette featured. This is from Coastal Scents, which is a brand that is extremely affordable, and this is the Fall Festival palette, 12 autumn-inspired eyeshadow colors. This is what this palette looks like, and it also has a really nice mirror. These are very decently sized shadows, and if you can see the little divots, these shadows can pop out and be put into a Z palette. So I do appreciate that. I feel like this is like a pretty sturdy, nice palette. There are some really good shades in here. This is a palette that I need to like keep out a little bit more because every time I look at it, I'm like, wow, like there's some really good ones in here, especially for fall. So I do like this one. I don't pull for it very much at all. Like I said, I pretty much just stick to what I like. But this is something that I think I would get use out of if I set it aside, so that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, now this little palette was actually gifted to me from a friend, so I was very excited about that. This is the Too Faced Country palette. Nashville Nudes eyeshadow collection. I believe this is a Too Faced exclusively for Ulta, and I have not used this very much at all yet, and I think it's for the same reason that I was mentioning, which is, yes, it's possible to make a complete look with these shadows, but it's not something that I look at and I'm like, oh, those three colors together, boom, done, perfect, beautiful eye look. And also there are quite a few cool tones in here, and that is just not something that I can deal with. Here's a palette that I'm not certain whether it is still available or not, but I was really excited to get this. This is the Fergie Wet n Wild palette, and I found mine at Walgreens. It was, I believe, $7.99, which is fantastic. Secondly, there's not, as you guys may know, very many palettes at the drugstore. These do have nice pigmentation, like surprisingly good pigmentation, and some of these shadows are crazy soft. But I found when I did an actual eye look, the eyeshadows came off very cool toned, and they were maybe too soft to where they all like just blended together. Like I tried to use this palette, I would say like 2 or 3 times to come up with like an actual eye look that I could film for you guys. And I didn't like any of the looks that I came up with. It has nothing to do with the pigmentation. It's not that they're not blendable, but it's almost like they're too blendable. Like they just blur together and it just looks like this cool toned, smoky like mess. I just did not like this at all. This is something that I would definitely give to one of my friends or my sisters because I have no use for it. Like, sorry to be so hateful, but this is something I will absolutely never pull out again and be like, hey, let me try that one. You know what I mean? There's just, I have no use for it. It's funny because like I haven't used some of these in so long that it's kind of like, oh, remember when I got that and loved it so much? This is from Sleek Makeup, which, if I'm not mistaken, is a UK brand. And this is the Eye Divine Mineral-Based Eyeshadow Palette. Let's see, Ultra Mattes V2. And I'm not positive if they still have this. You can see one of my favorite shadows is the one I hit pan on. This is a really, really nice shade for your initial blending shade. I really do like this palette. This was the first set of, actually first and only set of sleek eyeshadows that I've ever tried. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I don't use all of the shadows in here, but this is a very affordable palette. Yes, you have to buy it online, but affordable just the same. And I really, really do like this one. I don't think there's shadows in here that I don't have dupes for. So I do think that I could definitely part with this one and, you know, give it to my sister or a friend and would be happy to give it to them because I know they're going to enjoy it because of the quality of shadows. So if you're looking for another affordable alternative and some good matte shadows, check out Sleek Makeup. I know they have a ton of other palettes as well if these colors don't appeal to you, but I really do like this one. Another all matte palette that I was seriously so excited to get. I'm talking about the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette, which this is like the ugliest packaging I've ever seen. Like, sorry to be so brutally like rude, but what is happening? So it has all matte and then it has this transforming pearl, which apparently you're supposed to be able to put over top of some of the matte shadows and turn it into like a shimmer shadow. That's like my understanding. That doesn't really work. Like, that's hardly effective at all. These shadows are good quality, but like they're very soft, pigmented, blendable. Like, have we heard these words before? They're definitely not completely matte. Like, they may look matte on the swatch here, but they're very, very, very satin. There are some good colors, but there's only a few true warm shades, so I just never use this. I have tried to make some looks with this as well, and I had a similar feeling that I did with the Fergie eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild, in that I felt like, yes, they're smooth, they're pigmented, but they all kind of just blended together, and I was not able to come up with a look that I was a fan of, and I really can't blame that on my makeup skills and more feel like blaming it on the formula of the shadow and the color selection. It's just not my taste. Once again, another palette that I probably should just pass on to somebody who will get more use out of it than me. When I found out they were coming out with a third naked palette, I was so on board, so excited to get it. I like the concept of this palette. I like the shades. Initially on looking at them, I'm like, it's a little more cool toned, but I'm loving the rose theme, and I could totally come up with so many looks with this palette. No. I mean, there's a few shadows in here that are pigmented, But the ones that I looked at and said, wow, I can't wait to use that, I can't wait to use that, that's going to be great, I could not come up with any really great looks that I was in love with. Like, I really couldn't. There's obvious shadows in here that would go with one another, and I had to pack and pack and pack, really like trying to use Fix Plus, trying to use my finger, trying to use like a different brush to try to like really get some vibrancy out of this palette. And I couldn't do it. Like, I literally could not do it. Clearly, you can tell by my passion that I'm pretty annoyed with. And so I will definitely be getting rid of it because I literally never use it. While we're talking about the Naked palette, we might as well talk about my other one. I never got the number 2, but I do have the original. And funny, this one's also been chewed from my bunnies. So I've had this one for a really, really long time, and I do like it. Half Baked and Smog are two shadows that I'm like, yes, I really do like those. I would consider getting them like an individual form from Urban Decay, and I think I would get use out of them. But the rest, I'm just not dying over. Like, that's the perfect description. How do you feel about the Naked one, Natalie? Well, I'm not dying. This is the Kat Von D Monarch palette. These shadows are very pigmented. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold the phone. Pigmented and very, very soft. Now, does that scream like fall eye? Love it. I have used it a few times, mostly last year when I first got it, but nowadays I just never pull it out. I'm found that I'm much more fond of picking out individual shadows from Makeup Geek or Makeup Forever, oh my god, or MAC, you know what I mean, like those companies that sell the individual pans that you can put into a Z palette. I'm much more drawn to buying individual shadows that I know I'm going to be obsessed with than buying a palette where some of the colors I'm not going to like. I mean, I can't say like I will never buy another palette again. No, of course not. But I think I'm going to be much more selective and not just get it because I'm obsessed and there's a couple shadows in there that I like. You know what I mean? Now, a palette that I did get this year that I have not used yet, which is like, what the hell is wrong with you? Where do you get off? I could not control myself, like no control over here. I did pick up the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I have not used this one yet. This is another palette that you don't look at and go, yep, I'm gonna pair these two and this in the crease. You know what I mean? Like, this is to me a palette that you use for, you know what, I'm going to use these two and some neutral colors, or I'm going to use just this one on the inner corner. You know what I mean? You don't pull it out unless you're like super creative and crazy where you can just put an entire eye look together with this palette. That's just not something that I would do. But these shadows are so pigmented and so stunning. Like, I can't even tell you. I need to clean my hands so I can swatch. Like, honestly, guys, this is something as a makeup lover and makeup collector, you don't pass this up. You just don't. Now, if I could just come up with a look that would involve some bright colors that I wouldn't be intimidated by, we could actually get somewhere in life. There's 4 other palettes that I want to talk about. The 2 of them are Lorac 1 and 2. I do love both of those palettes, and I would recommend them. If someone comes to me and says, like, what's your favorite palette? Like, if I were to buy a palette, which one would you suggest? And usually it's like, do you think I should get the Naked palette? And I'm like, no, sweetie. You're gonna get the Lorac 1 or 2, go to Ulta, see which one that catches your eye more. There are tons of shadows in there that you can pair together to create a lot of different eye looks. And the Lorac 1, I'm a little more drawn to because Sable and Espresso give me life. Like, literally, I am so far into the pan of Sable, it's insane. And I would recommend those as palettes. So, my sisters are borrowing them right now, which I hope they're enjoying them. The other one that I gave to my sisters is the Sigma, like, Warm Neutral palette. I did enjoy it, but only for a few colors. There were some shadows that I just, looking at them in the pan, they look very, very nice and high shine, and I was excited to use them, but I did not get the payoff that I wanted. So again, I didn't think it was worth buying a palette if you're going to use like 4 shadows. So I did give that to them and they are enjoying that one, I know. And the last palette that I want to talk about is actually from Lorac, and it is their Unzipped Gold palette. When I saw that Lorac was coming out with an Unzipped Gold palette, I literally was like shaking. Like, put in my calendar on my phone the exact day and time that it was coming out. I was so excited just like looking at the pictures of the palette. I was so obsessed. I got it in the mail finally and was so sadly disappointed. I cannot even tell you, like I should have just done a video on it. This palette did not deliver. The really high shine metallic looking golds, I could not get the vibrancy that I was looking for. I did give it to my sisters. They both like have the same like style as I do as far as liking warm browns. And looking at it, they were like, oh my God, I'm gonna love this. Why would you not like this? And after they tried it, I was like, so what did you think? And they both were like, I don't understand. And I was like, I know, I don't get it. Okay, so I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It was kind of a nice opportunity to declutter some of my collection. If you guys want to see my blush collection, love blush, my bronzer collection, my foundation collection, my face powder collection, my individual shadow collection, or what I have in my Z palettes, I mean, there are quite a few videos that I could do for you. So if you guys want to see a decluttering of other types of makeup in my collection, I would love to do that for you. So let me know in the comments below. Also, please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And if you want to keep up with me on other social media, I do have some links in the description bar below. And I do appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you very soon in a next video. Thanks, bye.